So welcome to the last talk of day one of Rocky Mountain Ruby. Who is having fun so far? I don't know about you all, but I am very happy that I didn't have to fly across an ocean to see my Ruby friends. Thank you, Spike. Just forgot my whole show. Just give me a second. Anyway, so this is Who Wants to Be a Ruby Engineer. It is a Ruby game show because I'm not that talented to give an entire talk. I can pretty much do game shows and clap with one hand. See if I can dual wield things here. Oh, well, it's gotta work. Come on now. Hold on. Technical difficulties. It's a tech conference. Oh boy, that's my face. It's really big. I'm so sorry. Anyway, that's me. My name is Drew Bragg. Contrary to popular belief, I am from Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia, not from anywhere in Oklahoma. I work at an awesome company called Podia as a senior engineer. Podia is awesome. I get to work with incredible engineers. I get to work on an awesome product, and I get to work on a well-maintained Ruby monolith, Rails monolith. I love my job. I am also host of a monthly podcast called Code and the Coding Coders Who Code It. If the name of this talk didn't give it away, I'm really bad at naming things. I also help co-organize the Philly RB meetup. That's the Philadelphia Rubyists meetup. You don't have to be from Philly to attend. We're fully virtual right now. We have people from all over the world. Second Tuesday of every month if you're interested in hanging out with some Rubyists. I can also be found on the internet as Dr. Bragg at most things, Twitter or X or whatever the hell he's calling it today. Mastodon, Blue Sky, GitHub, I forget the rest. Oh, right, I was supposed to press the button, make the Podia thing come up, because Podia sent me here, because they're awesome. Are you sensing a theme? Okay, so before we get started, a few disclaimers. Number one, as previously stated, I am terrible at naming things. When I had to come up with a name for the game show, I thought of other game shows and where I could fit Ruby into their name. I thought of Who Wanted to Be a Millionaire, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I thought, okay, instead of millionaire, I'll do Ruby engineer. Just like with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, winning at that does not make you a millionaire. Winning at this does not make you a Ruby engineer. These questions are deliberately hard. I scoured the Ruby docs and the Ruby source code to find the weirdest bits of syntax and put them into this silly little game show for y'all. So, if you get none of them wrong, or none of them right, if you get none of them wrong, please let me know because you're amazing. But if you get none of them right, do not feel bad. That's intentional. Also, almost all of the Ruby syntax you're going to see today is valid. That means if you put in an IRB, it'll run probably. I don't recommend doing it for work. If you want to play code golf with Ruby, these might be great. If you want to confuse your coworkers, all right, fine. If you want to have a little fun, maybe learn how Ruby works under the hood, these are awesome. But I would think twice before putting them in production. I love Ruby. It's an expressive language. I can write it a variety of different ways. It lets me get away with some really weird stuff. It's awesome. But we are professionals. We owe it to ourselves, we owe it to our future selves, and we owe it to our coworkers to write the most readable Ruby possible, aka none of the shit you're about to see. All right, couple of rules. I'll get out of the way for this one so maybe you can all read it. So we have some lovely contestants here in the front row who have graciously volunteered to let me abuse them for a little bit. They're going to have a couple of seconds, 20 or so, to guess the output of a short snippet of Ruby. I am not a monster. They will have multiple choices, A, B, C, or D. So 25% chance of getting it right just by guessing. I've also given them some power-ups. They can pair program. They can select someone from the audience to help them, or they can search Stack Overflow. Spoiler alert, you all are Stack Overflow. If a contestant gets a question wrong, they will sit down. We will applaud them because they stood up here and they were brave enough to come up on stage and talk to you all. And they also just learned something, and that should always be applauded. This last little bit says, get enough questions right and win a fabulous prize. And I left all of my prizes in Pennsylvania. I'm so sorry. I will mail them to you. Doing great so far. So, without any further ado, because I know I'm the only thing standing between you and a drink, who is ready to play Who Wants to Be a Ruby Engineer? Can I get my first contestant? Come on down. Anybody, like in order, that's fine. Hey, there we go. All right, I have another one. All right, please introduce yourself, tell us who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been working with Ruby.
I'm Elise Schaefer. I live in Denver, but I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I've been doing Ruby for 14 years.
All right, are you ready to play?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so this first one is a little bit of a warm-up, just so that we all know how this is gonna go, so that the folks in the back can see whether or not they can actually read my syntax, and we'll all get a feel for how this is gonna go. So, if we look up at the screen, P, there's a 1, 2 colons, a plus, open parens 2, a closed parens, and this is valid Ruby. Maybe. So when we run this, are we going to get back a 3? Are we going to raise a no method error? Are we going to get 12 or a syntax error? What do you think?
I think that joke about switching to PHP might be not a joke. No,
I don't know if PHP is any better than this.
No, so I feel like I want to say D, but that feels like too obvious to be true. So I'm gonna go.
You can't get this one wrong. Like even if you get it wrong, you're staying up here. This is practice.
I feel like
you're going with D.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not. It's A. It's 3. This is valid Ruby. So thank you.
Okay, that's good.
That is the correct response to getting
That's
the question wrong. So just a quick explanation of what's going on for those of you who are scratching your head. The double colon, as you may know, is our namespace resolution operator. We can move through constants and namespaces with it, but we can also use it to call instance methods. Since plus is an instance method defined on integer, and 1 is a instance of an integer, you do the math. You can all that. For the love of maths, I am begging you, please, just use 1 plus 2. Don't. Thank you so much for laughing so hard at that stupid joke. All right, are you ready to play for real?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'll give you an easy one. We have an array with a couple of hashes, name, mats, name spike. We're gonna call pluck with the symbol name. So we're going to get back an array with the strings mats and spike. A string just of the first one, mats. Are we going to get back nil, or are we going to raise a no method error? And you do have 2 power-ups. Yeah. You can poll the audience, you can pair with someone. Does anybody think they know
what's going on? Is Brooke here? Can I poll the audience? Let's poll the audience.
Absolutely. So, audience, Stack Overflow, who thinks this is going to be A? Okay. Okay. Who thinks it's B? Very small amount of people. Who thinks it's C? And who thinks it's D? Okay, and who has seen this show before? All right. Well, so what do you think?
Well, I feel like the D crowd was like much larger, so I think I'm going to go with that. I'll trust the crowd.
Okay.
Woo!
That is correct.
Thank you all. You're amazing.
For those of you who guessed A, that is part of active support. This is Rocky Mountain Ruby, not Rocky Mountain Rails. You should be in Amsterdam right now if you wanted Rails. Okay, very nice work. Are you ready for your next one?
Yes.
Doesn't matter, you're getting it anyway.
Yeah.
So we have a variable str. It's an empty string. We're going to shovel the integer 97 into it. So what is str? Are we going to get a type error? The string 97, conversion no problem, going to become a lowercase a, or the integer 97, no longer a string. What do you think? You can't search Stack Overflow anymore, but you can pair.
I feel pretty confident in this,
all right,
but that probably means I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to go with C.
Going with C. Yes. All right, be honest, show of hands, who would have gotten that right? All right. So it turns out that if you use the shovel operator on a string and you pass it an integer, it treats it like an ASCII code point. 97 in ASCII is a lowercase a, so you go lowercase a. I've seen this, don't do this. Why would you do this? No. All right, next question. You're doing great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
We have an array. It's got the integers 1, 2, and 3 in it. We're going to multiply it by 2. Or use the asterisk by 2, however you would say that. Are we going to get back an array that has 2, 4, and 6 in it? An array with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Are we going to get an array of arrays, each with 1, 2, and 3 in it? Or is this a syntax error? You can still pair. No Stack Overflow, but pairing is an option.
Can I pair with Brooke?
Yes, absolutely. What do you think? Shout it out. It's fine. That's a great idea. I'm adding that next time. For the recording, that was someone humming the Jeopardy theme for me.
No idea? Okay, well, I'll see.
Final answer?
Sure.
Okay. Unfortunately, it's B. Right? Thank you. So when you multiply or asterisk an array by an integer, it acts like concatenating that many copies of that array. Thank you so much for playing. I need a new contestant. Come on down. All right. What's up? Same deal as last time. Introduce yourself, where you're from, and how long you've been working with Ruby.
I'm John. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. You're going to see me tomorrow, and I've been doing Ruby for 7-ish years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to play?
I'm terrified.
Okay, well, me too. It's fine.
Great.
All right, so same basic concept as before, but instead of a 2, we have the string with a dash. So we're going to get back an array of strings 1 dash 2 dash 3 dash. We're going to get back an array with strings dash 1 dash 2 dash 3. We're going to get back an array that has now negated those numbers, -1, -2, -3, or the string 1 dash 2 dash 3. You do still have all of your power-ups. You can search Stack Overflow or you can pair.
I was really hoping there was going to be an error. I'm going to search Stack Overflow.
All right, Stack Overflow, you know the drill. Who thinks it's A? Show of hands. One lone person in the back. Who thinks it's B? Even less people. Who thinks it's C? A couple. See you. And who thinks it's D? Oh.
I mean,
so
I
you're going
go
with
D.
A, obviously,
yeah,
right?
I gotta go D.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got to be D.
It's got to be D.
Stack Overflow would never fail me.
Yeah, never, ever has Stack Overflow ever gotten anything wrong, ever. I definitely pressed that button. There we go. Nice work, Stack Overflow. So for those of you who didn't think it was D, same method, different argument, does a different thing. This time it's going to act like a join. Again, just use join. Don't use the multiplication. This isn't code golf. All right, you ready for your next one?
Is ChatGPT available?
No.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so we have a variable A. It's going to be the range 1 through 5. We're going to map and send it symbols. I might have fallen asleep on my keyboard. So what is A? The array 1 through 5, but all negative, -1, 2, 3, etc. A no method error, there's your exception. A syntax error, more exceptions for you. Or the same array just without the last entry. What do you think? You can pair, but no more Stack Overflow.
I feel pretty good about this one, but I want to also pair with Brooke.
Brooke, if you want, you can just sit up in the front and that way we don't have to yell. Too bad, audience participation.
What do you got? I'm counting on you.
What do you think? This is doing wonders for my ego. A?
Awesome. I was thinking A as well. I'm going to go
Alright.
A.
Yes. That concoction of symbols is actually how we deal with negative numbers in Ruby. The integer defines an instance method negative at. You could send it and make -5, or you could just do -5. Great job. Great job. Next question, no powers. All you now. Ready?
Great.
We have 1.5 calling to A. We're going to get a range error, a no method error, a nil, or our array 1 through 5.
You know the worst part? I saw this one at Blue Ridge, and I don't remember the answer.
It's working.
Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you.
And feel free to think out loud. That's the best part.
How long do I have to think?
As long as I can count to 20 in my head,
Okay.
so like a minute maybe.
Oh, well, a range shouldn't be arrayable, so I feel like that should be a range error. But a no method error could also satisfy that concern, so. Sweet.
Flip a coin. You got a coin handy? Flip one.
No, I don't
Okay.
have a coin.
It could also be C or D. You know
It
that.
could.
Okay.
This is probably it.
Should have saved your power-ups. You had the other ones.
I used all of them in 2 questions. I'm gonna go with no method error.
No method error.
Yeah.
That is correct, but not for the reasons you think.
I don't care. That's fine.
So basically what we just saw is the equivalent of calling 2A on 5, which doesn't actually define it. You have to wrap the range in parentheses. The operator precedence is a thing in Ruby and it will trip you up. Be careful.
What does that resolve?
No, that's essentially what we just had up on the screen, and
that makes sense.
no method error. Yeah,
I see.
That's not right. I don't write good Ruby. I write this crap. All right, here's an easy one for you. Instance method, or instance variable, excuse me. Instance variable hello set to the string world. So when we print this string as written, are we going to get a syntax error? The string hello world, the string hello with some symbols and hello, or a name error? No power-ups, all you. 20 seconds on the clock, go.
Oh, Drew.
Yep, I know.
You.
This is why I have no friends. No cheating.
I want to go B.
You're gonna go with
I'm
B.
gonna
I
go B.
wonder why.
Yeah.
Correct. Funny story about this one. I made a typo and was so confused as to why my code was working just with an extra squiggly at the end. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? But yeah, if you're interpolating instance variables, class variables, or global variables, that's the @ the double @ or the $, you actually don't need the curly braces. It'll work fine. Don't do it. It's confusing.
Please don't do this.
Yeah. All right. You're doing great. Very impressed. We've got a method called stringify. It takes an argument called hash, and then we do hash with the safe nav, and we go to S. So when we do stringify with curly braces, do we get the string of just curly braces, a nil, an argument error, or a no method error? Yes, I'm definitely doing the Jeopardy theme song next time.
I mean, I feel like that's still it's an empty hash, but it's still a hash. It's not nil. I'm going to go A.
He's going A. It wasn't B either. It's an argument error.
Sad.
So we can omit the parentheses when we're calling a lot of methods and passing arguments, but we have to be careful because Ruby actually thinks this. Don't groan at me. I didn't come up with this. Blame Matt. I didn't come up with it. Okay, so great job. Round of applause. But I need another contestant. Come on down. I like that the stairs are right here and everyone's just like, nope, jumping.
Had to follow the pattern.
Yeah, of course, of course. All right, so same deal as before. Introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and how long you've been working with Ruby.
All right, my name's Elijah. I live in Windsor, which is near Fort Collins, because that's a place people actually know of. And I've been doing Ruby for almost 4 years now. Can't believe it's been that long.
All right, you ready to play?
No?
Well, we're gonna anyway.
Cool, let's do it.
All right. So we have A is gonna equal 3 dot times a block with the string Ruby in it. So A, what do we got? Is it going to be the string Ruby, Ruby, Ruby? A 3? Are we gonna get back an enumerator or nil? You do have your power-ups. You can pull stack overflow, pair with Brooke if you want.
Every question you've asked so far, you've not had the answer that was in my head on the board.
That is the point. So I'm doing great. Thank you for telling me.
I think it's C. It's an enumerator.
You think it's C?
Yeah.
Final answer.
Finally.
You do still have your power-ups.
I'll use them on a harder question.
I love that you guessed the numerator because it makes the explanation so much better.
Okay.
It would return a numerator if we didn't pass it a block. We did pass it a block, it just the block did nothing. Times actually returns the integer it was called on, so we would have gotten back 3. Okay. But you just learned something, so round of applause for learning something. And just like that, I need another contestant. All right. Is that why everyone's been doing this?
I did that so no other speaker has to do that, obviously.
I guess that's why everyone's been jumping. All right, same drill. Introduce yourself, where you're from, and how long you've been working with Ruby.
Hello, I'm Stefan. I live in Lyons, Colorado, 30 minutes up the road, and I don't quite know, but let's say 10-ish.
Okay.
Years.
Are you ready to play?
Yes, I'm here for my one question.
You have power-ups. They can help you. They can help you.
I know Brooke, too.
All right. Oh, hey, look, no syntax highlighting. That's cool. Fun fact about syntax highlighting. Did you know we didn't get it until like the mid-'80s? Could you imagine being a programmer in the 70s? You have like C and basic and no syntax highlighting. No, thank you. So X equal X. So what is X? A name error, because we have not actually defined X. A system stack error, because X is equal to X. Nil, or a no method error. There's a lot of exceptions in this one. Who wrote that? It's
I know who my pair is. So X is nil, so X becomes nil, and then we PX, but now I can't remember whether it's puts or P that does the whole thing with being more expressive. I'm going to pair with Wayne. Yes.
Wayne, what do you think?
What do you think?
So what do you
What
guess?
do you answer?
No.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do too. C, please.
C, please. I like you said please. Thank you.
Fun fact, about 11 years ago, Wayne heckled Sandy Metz on stage about like this. This is the closest I can get to a reverse heckle. Thank you very much for this
I
opportunity.
am so honored that someone compared my silly game show to a Sandy Metz talk. Oh my God. Okay, so for those of you who thought it was going to be a name error, if we had just called X, it would have been, but it turns out if you assign a variable to itself, even if you've never defined that variable for, it just becomes nil, which I thought was really confusing, but obviously I'm not.
Makes a ton of sense to me.
Are you ready for another question?
Yes.
All right.
100%.
All right, so we got P and we got question mark A plus question mark 1. Type error. The string A1. A syntax error. Or 146. For some reason. You can search Stack Overflow, but no pairing with Wayne or Brooke. Sorry.
Can I request a change to Stack Overflow? I don't like how the UI is. Can we count down from 3 to 0 and then you yell the answer? A, B, C, or D? Okay, are you ready? Wait, what? Oh, good question. 3, 2, 1, go. You go on go. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
I
Stack
don't know
Overflow
what
keeps
you
saying-
all just said.
Game Master, I'm going with D.
You're going with D.
That was the most common answer.
I don't know what button to push here. I'm just gonna do that one. No,
Thank
okay,
you so much.
okay, wait. No, stay.
I need to learn
Because
first.
you've been doing Ruby for 10 years, so maybe you're right. So the answer is B. If you open IRB right now, that's what you'll get. But if for some reason you have Ruby 1.8 or older running, you'll get 146 because the question mark will return the ASCII code point for the single character. We already learned that lowercase a is 97, 1 is 49. You add those together. I know math is hard, but it's 146. I checked.
I'm staying
you
right
can,
here then.
You can stay up here.
Yeah, sure.
You can stay up here. Nice work. All right, we got another one for you. Well, we'll make it a little easier because regexes are super easy. Foo. I love that the syntax highlighting does nothing for you. I'm pretty sure it makes it worse. Foo is equal to string bar. We're going to do some regex nonsense. We're going to use the equal tilde on the string foo. So when we call print foo, what are we going to get? The string bar, the string foo, the letter F, or the letter B. This is valid Ruby.
Wait, I needed this to be some sort of true or false. This is not.
No. You can't pair, you can't use Stack Overflow.
Yeah.
It is all on you.
This
No
is-
pressure.
Yeah. I was thinking that would be some sort of comparison operator there, but that seems to not be true.
You would be wrong.
I thought that question mark was some sort of like capture operator, but well, then it would be A. No, there's no way it's A because there's no. Ah, shit. What the fuck? It's F. I mean C. I mean C. 100%.
Named captures.
Why?
And it creates if you have named captures in your regex and you use the equal tilde operator, it will create the local variable for you, overriding any other local variable. It's horrible. Don't do it. Yes, it's a thing. I mean, it
I have a use
sounds
case
cool
for
on
that.
paper. You're like, code golf, awesome. No. All right, so you're on a roll. You ready for another question?
Nope.
Okay, well, you're getting one anyway. This is a bit fun. I'm not even going to read this. I'm just going to let you soak in it a little bit. I don't know. All right, we're going to get 2, 3, and 4, 3, 1, and 5, or a syntax error, which would be my guess.
What is a range over true and false? No, it's always true. D.
Luckily, you're in Colorado.
I don't know. D. That makes no sense.
D, it makes no sense, or D, syntax error?
D. 100%.
No, it's valid Ruby. Okay, so I actually found something like this in production code at my last job. Do you know how long it takes to Google something like this when you don't know what the operator is called? All right, listen.
Who was that? You belong up here.
I didn't know that this was a flip-flop operator. Turns out this is a flip-flop operator. All right, let me see if I can do this. The flip-flop is used in loops with conditionals. When the first part of the flip-flop operator evaluates to true until the second part evaluates to true, the conditional will evaluate to true. This was deprecated. They were going to take this out of Ruby, but it actually turns out it's great for parsing libraries. So it's kept in, and you no longer even get a deprecation warning about it. It's a real thing. You're welcome. Thank you. very much for playing. Round of
There,
applause.
I learned something. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Careful on those stairs. All right, so I need another contestant. Come on down. All right. Here you go. All right, same drill as last time. Please introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from and how long you've been working with Ruby.
My name is Corey. I'm coming from Bailey, Colorado. I've been working with Ruby 12 years, something like that.
All right, are you ready to play?
I think so.
All right, let's find out. That
Dear Lord.
P, bang, open parens, close parens. That's how I'm choosing to read that. Are we going to get a name error, a syntax error, nil, or true?
I didn't know you could negate nothing. Stack Overflow.
All right, Stack Overflow. You know the drill. A, name error. Who thinks? One lone person. B, a syntax error. I thought I was going to get more hands on that one. C, nil. There's a few shy hands. And D, true. All right.
Well, it's overwhelmingly true, I think. Let's go with D.
Let's go with D. You all a lot smarter than me. I stared at this. Kevin Newton showed this to me, and I was like, what? Turns out you can create a void context with just the empty parens, which in Ruby is nil. If you negate nil, you actually get true. So that's what just happened there. Great work. Can't full stack overflow, but you can still pair, so.
All right. There's the brain fuck.
This is Ruby. This is not brainfuck. And I did not just curse. You don't need to bump that out. That's actually the name of the programming language. Fun fact. HR can't yell at you for it. I don't know if I can read this to you. Open parentheses, close parentheses, question mark, colon, bang, question mark, colon. Something like that. All right. A no method error. I'm assuming one of those is correct.
Let me think about this one.
Let me think about this one.
All right, we're working with some cursed ternary, maybe.
Okay. I got it. I figured it out. It took a while, but yeah, I remember what I wrote. Don't do drugs, kids. So A, no method error. B, the string question mark. C, false. Or D, nil. You cannot use Stack Overflow, but you can still pair with Brooke if you want. What do you think?
All right. I mean, I don't know, so.
Does anybody think they know? Not Andrea, because I know she knows. We got one guy who thinks he knows, so.
Okay. I'll take it. What do you got?
You think it's A? I would never do anything like that.
Yeah,
Why
we
would
just
you guess
learned about that nil trick. We'll go with that.
Going with A? No method error.
Oh,
It's false.
obviously.
I'm pretty sure I've introduced all these concepts already.
Oh, I'd have to learn.
This is a little bit of fun with white space. If we add the white space, it gets a little bit easier. Does anybody see what's going on here? We got a ternary. If we evaluate those without using any special syntax, there you go.
Fair enough.
Makes sense, right? Totally.
I caught the ternary part, not the other garbage.
All right, well, thank you very much for playing.
Thank
Round
you.
of applause. But I do need another contestant. Hey, there we go. All right, yeah, take your time. I got a lot of time to kill. Those damn stairs, man. Just jump. That's so tough. All right, same drill. Introduce yourself, where you're from.
Hey, I'm Patrick.
assuming
I'm from
Colorado.
Louisville, Colorado. I think I've been using Ruby for like 15 years, but I'm so old I don't remember
This
stuff.
doesn't qualify as Ruby either, so.
Yeah.
I'm just marveling at my own stupidity here.
Oh.
So we have the method num is equal to 5. And we have the variable a is an array of 1, 2, and 3. We're going to do a for loop of for num in a num, and then we're going to print whatever p actually is. I think it's print num. So name error 5, 3, or nil. You do have your power-ups.
Yeah,
Stack
yeah.
Overflow has been pretty good.
Yeah, I feel
Pairing
like
has
okay. I
been
feel
a-
like the first line when you say def num equals, you're just defining num as a method that returns 5.
That is exactly what that is.
Okay.
Great work.
And then the second one is an array of integers.
Yes, that is exactly what that is.
Okay, all right.
An array of integers.
Now this is where it gets hard.
That's a for loop.
Oh man.
I love this show.
You're not supposed to do iteration like that in Ruby. It's always dot each.
Oh, I know. There's a reason for that.
All right. I think I'm going to Stack Overflow it.
All right, Stack Overflow. You know the drill. Who thinks it's A, name error? One
Okay,
person.
all right.
But he doesn't have a great track record.
Okay.
B5. It's a lot of people. C3. Slightly less people.
Okay.
D nil. Couple of people more than A though.
All right. Those are the B's have it.
The B's have it.
Okay. Let's do it. B. I trusted you all. I
Well,
trusted you all.
no,
All
we're
right, well, thank you.
same thing as like with the
Oh, I
regex.
gotta stay up- I got to stay up.
Yeah,
and
so
get
this
sh-
is
and
this
be
is actually a
shamed.
very good reason not to use the for loop and use dot each. Each will create a new scope when you pass it a block, but for doesn't do that, and it will override local variables and methods. Yeah,
Wait, what?
I know. This is chaos. Who wrote this language? Nats.
All right.
Great work.
Well,
Thank you.
hey,
Round of
hey, thank you,
applause.
Thank you.
Thank you. I need another contestant. Come on down. There we go. Gusto crew in the house. All right. Please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and how long you've been working with Ruby at Gusto.
My name's Brian. Ruby for 18 years. And
It's a very long time.
A very long time. I'm going to embarrass myself now.
What
I'm in-
version of Ruby did you start with?
186.
So you would have. So you were.
No,
You
I
were
wouldn't
doing
have.
addition.
I
with
would have
question
lied
marks.
to
Got
you.
it. Cool.
I would have lied to you. Yes. I'm in Longmont, Colorado.
All right. Here's your first question. Proc is equal to proc. Curly brace, hello proc.
Mhm.
Curly brace.
Mhm.
P proc,
Mhm.
bracket hello.
Mhm.
Close bracket. It's a lot of proc.
Okay.
All right.
So let's break this. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well,
let's
first,
just see
let's
some errors. Some
help a
errors
little
here.
bit. Yeah. Syntax error. The string proc, the hash with the key value pair hello and proc, or argument error.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'll be here all night, folks. Okay, so we got this hash.
and you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
I'm gonna think it out. I'm gonna try and
All right.
talk it out here.
All right.
So we got the hash, and then we got the proc, and the tricky thing is that we're calling the proc equaling the proc, and that's kind of messing with me. And I'm trying to think like maybe that's kind of like the now the x equals x. That was totally different than this. That's all right. And then do the square brackets. Is that a call? Is that invoking the proc?
I have no idea.
I don't know, man.
No, seriously, I wrote this question because I have no
I mean,
idea.
it doesn't. I don't see something actually ever calling the proc. So B doesn't seem right. Like we're not just accessing a hash, but but if I were using the square bracket accessor on a proc, is that accessor even on the proc? But then that would be a no method error, which isn't one of my choices.
This is awesome. I love when people think out loud like this. This is great.
My superpower is being wrong in public.
Well, you're doing great at. No.
Thank you. All right, so let's do the
Pairing.
no
Right.
the Stack Overflow.
Oh, you
yes,
still have
please.
Stack Overflow.
Okay.
All right. I can't keep track of it anymore. All right, Stack Overflow. Who thinks it's A? Couple of people. Who thinks it's B? Also a couple of people. Who thinks it's C? Slightly more people. And who thinks it's D?
Dang, that was mixed.
Helpful. Thanks, Stack
Mixed.
Overflow. I'm pretty sure there was an even amount of hands for every single. All right. So what do you think?
All right. My guess, based on the audience situation, is that C is calling to me because I think those square brackets are actually invoking the proc, but the first, like, there's no use of the argument being passed to the proc of hello, and it's just returning the hash.
I like the way you think. You are correct. All right. For me, there's a lot going on here because I'm not nearly as smart as this guy. So there's a lot of concepts. It turns out there are a number of ways to call a proc. You can say .call, .parens, .square brackets, or just square brackets. Also, procs allow arbitrary arguments. This tripped me up, but it turns out only lambdas are the ones that are strict about the arguments, and proc is not the keyword. None of that is what actually tripped you up, so.
That's because I didn't know any of this.
All right, let's get you another question. A is equal to sleep 1.5. So what is A? Going to give us 1, nil, 2, or the system will sleep for 1.5 seconds every time we call A. So no more Stack Overflow. You can pair. And if my math is right, this is the last question.
I have no idea what sleep. But okay, so you're calling sleep is a method.
Yes.
On kernel.
Also, yes.
And you are invoking it with 1.5, but you're assigning. So you're gonna. That's going to be evaluated. So that you're going to sleep, and then you're going to assign the return value to A. So the system will sleep for 1.5 seconds. So I think D is right, but the question is, what is the return value of sleep? So I don't know. I'm looking. I'm gonna scan the audience.
I could listen to you think for like all day. Like this is great. Does anybody think they know? Yellow shirt thinks he knows. If you're a gambling man, there's a few people.
I'm gonna call here Patrick up front. Come on, Patrick. Do your best. You think it's B?
You think it's B?
There's no return, and that makes sense. It's like a side effect, right? So what could you possibly return from that side effect? So I'll let's do B.
My favorite part about this question is you have a 50% chance of getting it right.
Son of a.
So sleep does return the actual amount of time slept rounded. If you do 1.5 or 2.5 or anything, you will get either or depending on what else is going on in your system at the same time.
Bravo.
I don't know why, but yeah, that's
we
the
know
thing.
why. We know why.
So big round of applause for all of the contestants. Thank you so much. Nope. We don't need any loud noises. All right, thank you so much, guys. This was a lot of fun. I had some help coming up with these. My good friend Ufuk, Kevin Murphy, Matthias Richard, and Kevin Newton all contributed some of this stuff. So don't just blame me. You can blame any of them or Matt's. This is me. Again, if you want to connect, I love Rubyists, and I love hanging out and finding out weird things. So if you have any weird syntax and you want to send it my way, please do, so we can stump someone else with it. That's it.